Good morning, YouTube. Another day, man, that God has kept me, man. I want to mention something today about, I'm just getting up, y'all. Sorry about that, man, but I had to make my videos as I can because I'm a real busy person out here. I try to run my miles every day, y'all know that. I just want to talk about how I kind of got involved in trucking, man, and really. My dad drove trucks all my life. My dad was a driver, so it's pretty much in my blood. But I didn't have no, I really didn't see this truck driving in my future at all. Like from high school and up, that wasn't what I wanted to do. If the teacher asked me what you wanted to do, it wasn't truck driving. So I kind of got, really didn't have a big choice at the time because the job I was working at, man, I had been there since high school, graduating and stuff. I had been at this job, man. A good guy got me this job too, man. He rest in peace to him, man. He's not here with us no more, but he was a good guy, man, and he just looked out for me because this was like a great job. It was a warehouse job. And he looked out for me, man, and seen my heart. And he just really helped me get this job, man. And really, I was banking on this job, y'all. I was really banking on this job. So I had been there for some years, and I was like, oh, man, I'm getting some seniority and stuff. So I said, I'm going to retire right here. I'm just stay right here, because I was making decent money. Everything was fine. I was getting along with everybody. Everything was cool. The work was kind of fast. It was a fast pace. It was like a production job, man. But it was money to be made, if you had some hustle or work ethic within yourself, man. And I had put a lot on this job, man. I had put many years into it. And all of a sudden, man, one day, they called a special meeting. And in this meeting, they was like, okay, we are moving overseas. We going to Mexico, and y'all got like a couple of months. I mean, we finna clean house and shut down, so we just giving y'all heads up about finding another job, or they was saying like some of y'all could stay here. I mean, we really ain't gonna just close the doors within the 3 months period, but we will be closing them within like a year and a half or something like that, man. But y'all know the panic I felt, man. And right then, man, that was when my wife at that time, she was pregnant with my first son, man. And I never had no kids at that point, so I really never had no responsibility. So I was just pretty much living it up, man, But at that time, I had my first son coming. He wasn't here yet, but he was coming. And I was, I really had that. I was really banking on this job, man. That was like my foundation, and you put a lot of hope in a job, man, and they could just up and leave at any time, leave you stranded. You just got to fend for yourself pretty much, man. So it's funny how it happened. So I went home, man, and I didn't really let nobody know, man. I just started like searching the internet, man, online, just looking around, trying to figure out another career I could do. And then I think I took a nap or something and woke up, man, and it was a commercial on, with the trucks coming by. And, and they was like, come in and roll, and you can have your CDL, and you can drive in a couple of weeks and that sort of thing, man. And, be your own boss, that kind of thing, which you're not your own boss. You're not your own boss, man. I'm in lease purchase, and I still ain't my own boss. You'll never be your own boss, no matter what you do. I mean, even if you're a business owner, you the CEO of the company, you own everything, everything is you, you still not the boss. Remember that. You're still not the boss. There's always somebody over somebody. It's never, the only boss it is God, pretty much. But yeah, man, I watching the commercial, man, so I was like, oh man, I need to do that, I need to do something. I got a kid coming, my first kid. I mean, your first kid, you feel that joy, man, and you finna be a father. and you want to take care of them best you can, you know, because maybe, you know, you probably didn't have a good childhood, or you probably had a broken family, man. You probably had a dysfunctional family. You know, a lot of us do. It's just something we don't talk about. But, man, it's a lot of broken homes in the world, man. And I just wanted to do better for myself and my kids, man. So here I am, man. I got into the trucking, man, went through the school and everything. It was real hard for me, man, because my dad drove, but I never was into trucks. So I, like, when he talked trucks, I'm like, oh, man, you know, I just wasn't really into it. And, you know, a lot of kids, man, they really don't listen to their parents so much. You know, when the parents trying to tell them something or show them something, they'll find more, they're more interested in stuff somebody else will say. Like, you can tell them the same thing, but if they hear from somebody else, then they'll kind of do right by it, or trying to listen to it or learn it. You know, so that's how I was, man. I didn't really know nothing about trucks. And I remember they was laughing at me in trucking school, man. You know, not too bad. You know, everybody was joking and everybody was just messing with each other, because really none of us knew what we was doing. Because if we did, we wouldn't be in trucking school. So I had it hard. I couldn't shift. I couldn't get my left feet to get in sync with my right feet. Then I had to use my arm to shift the gears, and it's timing, and if you miss the gears, you got to start over, or you just scratching gears. It was real bad, man. I couldn't back up. I never knew about like a straight line back or nothing. You know, I'm seeing my dad do this all the time, every day, every weekend or whatever, but I never was trying to learn it. So I had it hard, man. And that's like the basis of my videos, man. That's why I'm out here making these videos. I keep them coming, man, because I never forget how hard it was for me when I got started. I mean, y'all, I was straight green. I haven't, you know, other than my dad just going and getting in his truck or something like that, I really never seen an inside of a truck, let alone drive it. So I had it real hard, man. It took me, matter of fact, my first job, man, my first trucking company and stuff, I had a great trainer, man. I had a great trainer. At that time, I really didn't like the dude, man. I really didn't like the dude. You know, I thought this dude was psycho or something, man. I was like, man, this dude is really like living it. But what I didn't realize is that trucking is a lifestyle, man. And I mean, you actually got to live and breathe this truck, man. You got to really want to do this, man. You got to really get some focus. You got to dig deep. You got to dig deep, man, if you want to get in this game, man. So, and he showed me a lot of stuff, man. I was kind of laughing it off, like, man, what do this got to do with trucking? You know, a lot of things, like some of my video, I know some people like, why are you talking about a lot of these personal things and little small things, you know, but man, you wouldn't believe, it's a lifestyle, man. It ain't so much about just driving down the road. It's so much to it. Man, you got stacks of paperwork you got to send in for your payroll. If you don't do something right, you won't get paid for it. You got macros, things you put on the computer that you got to let them know when you get to the place to pick up the load. You got to let them know that you are loaded. You got to let them know that you are leaving the place. You got to let them know what time you'll be there with the load. Let them know if you're going to be there early, because that way you can get set up for another load. You got to watch the cars. That's just starting to drive right there, just that part. You got to slide your tandems. You don't want to be too heavy on your tandems. You got to go through the weigh scale, make sure you're straight. You got to weigh the load. You got to make sure fuel is in there. Do you got enough fuel to make it with the load? You got to find the place. Some of these places, man, is in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of nowhere. And like a lot of time in the towns, people see you in the truck and they know that it's like only one distribution center in their town. And they know like you going down the wrong way or something, you finna get stuck, or you're gonna be on a dead end, and they won't even tell you, they won't even wave at you and say, hey man, take a right, you know. I had a lady to do me like that. I had several people to do me like that throughout my career. But, you know, most people just sit there and look at you. They know what you're trying to find, they know where you're going, but they just, I don't know. Some people just all for themselves, man. But yeah, I had it real hard, man. So to the people that's sitting on the couch, man, because I started from sitting on the couch. You know, I had been driving before, but I had kind of stopped for a month or two just to get my mind rejuvenated. And if y'all sitting on the couch, man, and you're thinking about doing it, but you got your friend or your buddy or one of your family members or somebody, oh, man, you ain't gonna be able to make it, man. I don't know about you, man. You know, you can't do it, man. Or, you know, I don't know if I can do that, bro, man. You know, man, that's a hard life, man. You ain't gonna be at home, and you know, I promise you, the people that's at home that you call yourself missing, especially like your buddies, your drinking buddy or whoever it is, man, they're gonna be doing the same thing when you come back, man. It's gonna be good, man. I mean, these people, everybody got their own niche, man, but I promise you, you ain't missing nothing. You ain't missing nothing, man. So I know it's I don't know why I made this video, man, but it's somebody out there, man. It's probably more than one, but, you know, if I just reach somebody, you know, I don't care about all the views thing. You know, I do this because I love doing it, man. But it's somebody out there, man, that really interested in getting in trucking, man. And you know, you don't even have to come to KL and them, man. That ain't what my main focus is. My main focus is to have like a trucking channel, man, you know, for truckers, man. So, cause we really don't have a lot of resources out here, and ain't nobody really out here keeping it real. Everybody blowing smoke, talking this, talking that. I made this, I made that, I made this, man. You're gonna have some short weeks, you're gonna have some good weeks, you're gonna have some great weeks, but you cannot be running home every second, you know, trying to get back home and do this and get back home, man. You got to really kind of stay out here, man. You know, you got to at least give yourself a good 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks, man, to get your money right. And, you know, and then you still can't go home and stay a whole week and 2 weeks. And, you know, that's mostly the drivers. Oh, well, man, I ain't making no money. I ain't made no money with them. You know, most of the time it's more likely than just sitting at home, really. You know, because if you really putting work out, man, it's some good dispatch. Now, you got some good dispatchers, man, that just ain't going to work with you, man. I mean, they just got it out for you, and you may have to get rid of them or change. Sometimes you have to change companies, man. It gets so bad because dispatchers, really, they ain't drivers. They don't know nothing about a truck. They kind of like I was when I first started driving. And they don't really care to know about a truck. They don't care to know about you. You know, a lot of dispatchers, man, they selfish, man. They out for themselves. So if you find yourself with a dispatcher that you just can't really get along, a lot of times it's just him. You know, it's really not the company, man. It's the people that's in the company that's destroying these trucking companies. And you know, a lot of these trucking companies know that, but they fail to, you know, change the system. They so comfortable with these people they got in the office, and they just destroying the company. I mean, your turnover rate, you got drivers quitting left and right. You know, it never dawns on anybody why they quit or what happened. I mean, you know, so it's really, man, these dispatchers, man, you know, there's some good dispatchers out here, but there's also some that's just trying to work their way through college, man. They in college, they doing this as like a side job, part-time or something, and they just trying to get through college. They ain't even majoring in the trucking or business. They ain't majoring in business. They ain't majoring in nothing that got to do with trucking. They probably going to be a doctor or something, but they just dispatching you, you know, just to get through school so they can have money for the food and meal tickets and books or whatever. You know, I don't know their situation, but just to have money, period, to be in college, man. That's mostly what a lot of dispatchers are just in college. They just trying to do this, man, and get through with it. So they don't have no heart in it. I mean, it's just a job. Like,